In this video, we're going to fill out the About You section together. Please know that anything that has an asterisk next to it is required. If it doesn't have an asterisk, then it's not required, it's just optional. As you can see, I pre-filled every section so that we can go through this a little bit faster. If you do need help, there's also these blue eyes that you can click on and it'll give you more information about that section. Also, there's some really informative descriptions on top of the question. So here it's asking for your name, but they're asking for your legal name, not just a name that you go by. So if you have a preferred name, you can write it down here where it says preferred first name. Otherwise, please report your legal given name, the name on your birth certificate and legal records here in this section. First name, middle name, last name, and if you have a suffix. So if you're junior, the second, the third, fourth, you would indicate that here. The next question is asking if you've ever had any other names. Maybe you changed your name because you got married, or maybe you just changed your name because you wanted to. Then you would say yes or no. If you have, you're going to click yes, and then they're going to ask you what other names you've been going by. And if you say no, then you're done with this question. The next question wants to know when you were born, so you'll give your legal birthday, and then where were you born? So you're going to say what country you were born in, the state, and then the city. Notice how all of these questions have asterisks. The only ones that don't have an asterisk is preferred first name and whether or not you had another legal name. If you say you did, then the next question is going to have an asterisk on it. So they're going to need to know what the other legal name was. On this page, you're going to tell the UCs what your home address is. So if you're an international student, they're going to want the international address. If you're a domestic student, they're going to want your permanent address. So your parents or legal guardians or where you live. And if you're in the middle of moving, you want to give the permanent address. So once you report that address and you see I pre-filled it, you're going to scroll down and it says, is this where we should send your mail? If it is, click yes. And if it's not, then a new section is going to open up and ask, where should we send your mail? Okay, so this is the current address. The next question is asking for your phone number. If you have an international phone number, please click that box that says I have an international phone number, and then it's going to ask you for the country code. If you don't have an international phone number, then you just continue by putting in the phone number where you can be reached. Is this a home number or a cell phone number? Make your selection. The next question wants to know if you have an alternative number. In case that number is not working, there's another number you'd like them to call. If it's no, click no, and if yes, go ahead and click yes, and it's going to ask you again, what is that number? Is it an international number? And is this a home or cell phone number? The very last question wants to know whether or not you would like the UC campuses and programs to contact you so they can give you outreach, some updates, some general information. If you're okay with that, go ahead and click this box that says I authorize the University of California to share my contact information, and if not, then go ahead and make sure that it's unchecked. Okay, when you're ready, click save and continue. In this page, you're going to have to report information regarding citizenship and residency. So if you are an undocumented student at DACA or AB 540, click on this little I for information. It is going to give you a tip that you should select no selection. If you are not an undocumented in DACA or AB 540 student, then click on your country of citizenship. Okay, now scroll down to the next question. Do you have a U.S. Social Security number or an identifying taxpayer identification number? The last question is asking, by the time you attend UC, will you have graduated from a California high school? And now there's a light gray section that is asking if by the time I attend UC, would I have attended a California high school for 3 or more years, K through 12? When ready, click save and continue. Demographic information. So in this section, you have the option to answer questions that will give the UC information about your ethnicity and background. You don't have to. None of the questions on this page are actually required. So if you want to, you can just scroll down to the bottom and click on save and continue, move on to the next section. If you're okay answering these questions, then you can start from the top. First question is asking if you consider yourself Hispanic or Latino. Hispanic or Latino, what group do you identify with? Make your selection here. Do you identify with any of these following groups? So if you identify with African American or Black, American Indian, Alaska Native, Asian American, Pacific Islander, Southwest Asian, and North African, White Caucasian. So you make your selection, check all the boxes that apply to you. The following section wants to ask you questions about gender and sexual orientation. If you are comfortable answering these questions, you can. How do you describe yourself? And you have 6 different options. Pick the one that describes you best. The last one is, what do you consider yourself? If you feel comfortable answering this question, go ahead and answer it. If not, you can leave everything blank as I just did and click on save and continue. On this page, you're going to answer questions about your background. So the first question is, what language did you learn to speak first? Make your selection here. The next question is asking you just personal questions about yourself. You can click on the I if you have questions about that. Otherwise, check all the boxes that apply. The last question is asking, are you a dependent of U.S. military, veteran, or service member? If you say yes, click yes, and if it's a no, click no. When ready, click on save and continue. And you will answer questions about your household. The question is, do you live by yourself? Yes or no? And if you say no, it's going to ask you, who do you live with? Your spouse, your children, your parents, others. So make your selection. The next question is, what was your total income earned in 2020? Include your spouse's income if relevant. If you have questions regarding the question, you can hover over the little I and it'll give you more information. We may use this information to help us determine if you're eligible for certain outreach programs, scholarships, and the application fee waiver. This information is not used for financial aid. Please note, if you are a dependent, student, or under the age of 24 and single, you will be asked for your parents' income. How many people were supported by this income? If you have questions regarding this question, you can hover over the I and then go ahead and fill that in as well. When ready, click on Save and Continue.